how to recession-proof your retirement. We spent a lot of time there talking about if it's coming, but when you listen to it in whole, and Jeffrey and his team at LPL Financial are forecasting a mild recession in 2023, but all of the data and all of the things he talked about were pretty positive. Inflation is on its way down. That should trigger at some point in 2023 for the Fed to react to that and slow the rate of interest rate hikes. The unemployment rate is low. He talked about all of those things still leading towards the possibility even of a pretty good year in the stock market.
One of the things that I thought was most interesting was right there at the end when Jeffrey mentioned that the average recession is only 10 months long.
Yeah.
When you hear the word recession, at least I go to in my mind this elongated time period where things are just awful.
Yep.
If you're in retirement right now, if you have just 1 year's worth of cash sitting on the sidelines ready to go, you can weather the average recession.
Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly how we plan here at GenWealth. And I was going to take issue with one thing that he said right there at the end, where he said, well, maybe 2023 is not your year to retire. If you're not having to sell equities in 2023, you'll be just fine, because the whole idea of a recession and how it affects your retirement is how it affects the stock market. And if the stock market is down in 2023, if you've got cash, you don't have to sell anything. And so I think a lot of it is not dependent, Scott, on what happens with the markets, but how your plan is designed and what you do in response to what the market may be doing.
Building a recession-proof retirement starts with building a plan that expects the recession to happen, right? Sometime during your retirement, sooner or even later. And we'll get into the details of that because that is one of our steps to recession-proof your retirement. So 4 steps to recession-proof your retirement, and clearly the data shows that Americans are not ready to weather the economic storm. 47% of them can't afford a $500 emergency. That's according to the Motley Fool. As of November of 2022, 63% of Americans were living paycheck to paycheck. That's according to CNBC. 55% of Americans feel they're behind on retirement savings, also according to CNBC. Nearly 7 in 10 Americans, that's 69%, say they're worried about the possibility of a recession before the end of the year. 29% say they are very worried, and another 40% say they're somewhat worried. And at the same time, more than 2 in 5, 41%, feel they would be unprepared to handle a downturn if one were to begin before the end of the year. That's according to Bankrate. So, as we said earlier, the time to prepare for the recession is not now. It was 6 months ago.